This is going to be Bessie's temperament evaluation. So the first thing you notice, again, the scoring is low, medium, high. Low is not bad, high is not good. It's a spectrum. So the first thing you notice is I pop her into the testing area, and you can see what I'm watching for is confidence level. Is her tail up? Is her tail down? Is she whining? Is she hiding in a corner? Is she checking things out? So overall, I scored her a medium for confidence, because what you notice in the beginning is she checks it out a little bit, and then she's kind of whining a little bit. I do think that she needed to go pee in the beginning. So like the first 2 or 3 minutes, she's kind of scurrying around and she didn't really know where to go because there wasn't the familiar like potty grate, even though there was a potty pad. So you see that she's a bit confused until she finally does go pee. But basically in the beginning, she's whining a little bit. She does eventually go over to the dog. And she checked that out right away. So you'll see way down on the bottom, I did score her an assertive for dog scoring. This doesn't mean that they're like dominant or whatever, in like a term that we often think of. It just means that that's how she greets dogs. So assertive for dog friendliness, she was right up saying hello to the dog's face. Typically dogs say hello to their face or their bums, or take a submissive roll where they kind of roll on their backs. The next thing you notice is assertiveness when I get into the testing area. So human assertiveness, how do they approach humans? And you can see that she comes over to me, she jumps into my lap, and she's the first one that's like really trying to get close to my face and giving me kisses. An assertive dog also is, if there's like the puppy that's more, going to be like jumping onto the couch to get into cuddles and trying to get close to the humans, that's an assertive role, versus a lower assertive one who might like put a paw up and be like, do you want me up there? So that's kind of the difference between a low and a high assertive dog. Confidence, we discussed. Motivation level. Okay, so in the end, I did score her a medium. At first, I wasn't sure because she was a little unsure. She didn't necessarily want to try out the new things that I was asking. I couldn't convince her to try the tunnel. But then she would do the things that she wanted to do. And then eventually you see, I get the tug toy, and I do eventually get her engaged, and I toss it and she brings it back to me about 2 or 3 times. And that motivation level is what we're looking for, is like how badly do they want to please their humans naturally. And this comes well with like the human focus. So I think she got a little bit, she was more focused on the human focus aspect during our temperament testing area versus like actually wanting to please me and doing other things. But eventually she did. So I do think once she kind of warms up and settles in, I do think she's going to enjoy training sessions. Nerve strength, again, everything took a little bit of time for her to kind of settle in. So as I saw, in the beginning, there's some whining as she goes into the pen, and I almost contribute that this is more to like the nerve strength versus the confidence. You can see that she's whining a little bit, her ears are a little bit pinned back, but then once she kind of gets her bearings, she was good. There was no more whining the rest of the test. She was happy once I was in there kind of encouraging, empowering her. Whereas if I'd scooped her up and been like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's new and big and scary. She'd have been like, yeah, it is big and scary. We don't want to do that. We want to cheer her on, and be like, yeah, that's great. Give it a try. It's lots of fun. So overall nerve strength is their ability to handle stress. And I would say that I do think that she will adapt well. She just might take some time to warm up in certain situations. Touch tolerance. I gave her a high. She loves her puppy massages. Again, the tolerance is more so how tolerant they are to it, not do they enjoy it. Whereas very much you can see that she's just like really enjoying her puppy massages. I think she would have been happy to just lay on her back in my lap the whole time and do nothing else. She would have been totally fine with that situation. Energy level, I gave her a medium because she didn't really slow down at any point, but she wasn't like running and spinning circles. She was happy to just kind of check things out and keep moving at a pace. So I think she'll be a lovely walking buddy. She'll be good for a little bit of adventure. But at the end of the day, she's going to be ready for that cuddle on the couch. Sound and sight sensitivity. So I scored her a low for both of these. So I pop up that shaker and make a super loud noise. And then I roll it on the ground and she runs over to explore it. That's what I want to see. I want them to be curious about new things and new sounds, not scared of them. And then I pop up the umbrella, and again, she doesn't really notice. And then when I put it down, then she kind of goes and checks out the little dangly thing. She explores that new sight, which I love. Prey drive. How badly are they going to want to chase the moving things? At first, I thought maybe I would score her a low, but then eventually she did start to kind of The tug toy caught her eye, and the little dangly thing on the umbrella caught her eye. So yeah, I think she's probably eventually going to enjoy a good game of tug or fetch, and that prey drive is not going to be super intense. Human focus, I scored her a high. She very much would have been happy to just hang out with me the whole time. So I do think that she's going to be very excited to see her people. Again, as a reminder, we need to set those boundaries. The first day you bring your puppy home, set the boundaries that sometimes people are at home and sometimes we leave, but we always come back. She needs to know that from day one, the humans leave. They leave the house, but then they come back. Don't wait for 2 or 3 weeks for your puppy to settle in. This is for all puppies. This is not just for Bessie. Day one, put your puppy in their crate and leave the house, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes, so that your puppy knows the routine that people leave and people come back. There are times where you are not there. Tenderhearted. I gave her a highly. She wasn't super intense about it, but she definitely was like worried about me and stayed by my side and was very comforting. So I don't think she'll get overwhelmed with tons of emotion. I think she'll be very sweet and endearing when someone's having a bad day, to be there to comfort them, which is lovely. And then we already discussed the dog friendliness. So if you have any questions about Bessie, overall, I think she's going to be a real sweetie. She's going to be up for some adventure and also going to be very happy to just be the family companion. Middle of the road kind of gal, and will do great with a really good cheerleader to kind of continue building that confidence with her and showing her that the world is fun and safe, and then she's just going to flourish.